Hi guys. So, I know it's been a long time coming. It has been an incredibly long time coming. We moved in on the 20th of last month. It is now, no, 20th of May. It is now July. Due to life in general, I haven't really gotten out in the garden very much, and but I am going to give you a little bit of a tour around the place at the moment. What I will say is this: a lot of my plants have died. A lot of them didn't make the transition or the moving. Unfortunately, even some of the chestnuts have succumbed, unfortunately, which is fine. You know, life is what it is. Doesn't stop me from doing it again next year, doesn't stop me from moving forward with my plans, doesn't stop any of that. So this video is my very first garden tour here at the new property. Yeah, and as I go I will explain our plans. I guess that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, okay, so let's go. Figured I'd fill you in. Our garden here is a 27 by 15 foot courtyard. We have plans for this space that probably far outweigh the space we have, and yeah, but we're going to get stuck into it. So, right, where I'm sitting now, this little alcove here is a gravel floored inner kind of the widest part of the courtyard. The water butt came with the property, which is great. This is our potting rack that came with the greenhouse with all the attachments and accoutrements. And over there is our outdoor furniture, which you saw us do up last year. In this area, we are looking to pop the table over underneath the window, and there's going to be some honeysuckle and jasmine that's going to be planted to go up and over. We've already got a bramble that we're hoping is going to fruit into blackberries. So we don't have to sort out one of those. So this space here is where we're looking to put our really big greenhouse. It's 12 foot by 8 foot, and this will, when we clean up this space, will be the space for that. And that's our shed, which needs covering as well. Just before we moved, I found a rhubarb that I wanted. It had 2 crowns in the pot, and we picked it up, and this is what it looks like now. I filled this tub that it's in half with manure and half with compost, and it is loving it. It's grown huge in the time that it's had, which is about 2 months. That's 2 months of growth right there. This is our black currant that actually has survived the journey over, thankfully. It's the one that got its root ball eaten 2 years ago by grubs, and we didn't think it had survived, so we put it in the pot and just hope for the best, and it's come back, which is awesome. So we're just letting it do its thing, letting it live its best life, and it is doing awesome. I'm really proud of it. It looks wonderful. This here is our apricot, and it has survived. Obviously it hasn't fruited this year. It's had too much trauma with the move and all of that kind of stuff, and with neglect due to ill health at the beginning of the year, but it's still coming back and it's still going strong, and that's what matters. Okay, so in this little space in front of the shed is where I plan to put a water feature in the future, and our little water garden and shady area garden. So yeah, at the moment it's home to the bay tree there, the fig tree and the cherry. So they did suffer quite a lot of trauma on the way over. These two, the cherry obviously hasn't fruited, all its flowers fell off, and it was not a happy chappy. It got quite a lot of neglect while we were at the other place. So yeah, and the same with the fig, but the fig is growing really huge and it's got lots of new shoots, which is awesome. So this space, oops, is a work in progress. All of it's a work in progress, let's be honest. But yeah, at the moment it's a bit of a storage dumping ground and where we keep some of the trees. Do you guys see that? Do you see it? That has changed my life. Right there, that hose pipe, that outside tap has changed our lives, because I can now have hose, which means that I can keep the garden watered, which means I have a better chance of survival because I don't have to lug big buckets I can't carry. Yay! So in this corner here we have our curry plant, which is almost impossible to kill. It keeps coming back year after year. It gets neglected, it gets left, it gets ignored. But as you can see, it's still got greenery on it and it is going great guns. So we're going to cut it back this year and I'm going to possibly plant it out the front. This here is our blueberry, which again was neglected enough that the fruit fell off. But it is, as you can see, and all of the leaves came off it, all of it. That's all new growth in the last 4 weeks. There, right there, is the golden raspberry, and this year I'm going to be splitting that off into 2 separate buckets because the bucket is so buckled from root ball growth. If I don't, it'll die and I'm not having that. But it survived and that's all that matters. So this here is our golden plum. It's one of my bestest favourites and it survived the journey too, which makes me very happy. This bunch of twigs here is actually the Goji Berry. It's not looking happy. It really does need a new pot. It's been overtaken in its container by weeds and through neglect and probably moving shock, etc. It is not doing very well, but I'm going to chop it all back this year and hopefully encourage new growth next year after replanting it, giving it a good feed and hopefully putting it in a situation in situ where it's going to be very happy. Guys, so here we are to the chestnut trees. Some of them are doing a lot better than others. The ones that I didn't manage to actually transplant this year into bigger pots before we moved have died, as you can see. The others aren't looking too special, but I think it's more about neglect and watering than anything. They have plenty of feed in each bucket, as you guys know, so I'm just going to keep going with them and see what is going on. But we'll bring them back to health, and yeah, what will be will be. That's the grand tour of out here. I can't really show you out the front at the moment because there's not really a lot to see, but I will be showing you that later on as we get some work done, and it will have to be done this week because I've just bought plants to go out there. So that'll be coming up. I know it looks a bit of a schmozzle because it is a schmozzle, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is, it's a lot of work that needs to be done, but this area has the potential to grow so much food out of it and become such a beautiful place to sit in and just enjoy, you know, and that's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. So yeah, like I said, it's short and sweet, I guess, but there's not really a lot to see at the moment. So that's your lot right now. I will get back to you. I will show you obviously more. This really the first time that I've had a lot of time to actually come out here and shoot this. So again, onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards, and we will get this space sorted out. Our biggest issue will be getting the greenhouse up, and we will be doing that over several weeks. We don't want to be rushing that kind of thing at the moment. We just want to be, you know, taking our time with things. As long as it's up by October, we'll be happy, and there's no doubt that it will be up by then. So yeah, it's just something that we're going to take our time over, because A lot of the glass, some of the glass, not a lot of it, but some of the glass did get broken during the move, and because we have that big wall there, what we're thinking is that because this wall has a lot of sun all the time, because the sun goes from the left to the right, in winter that's going to help to keep the greenhouse nice and warm. So whatever we put in there is going to get some residual heat off the brickwork, even in the depths of winter. As long as the sun is shining, that's going to keep its heat, so it's going to help to keep the greenhouse warm. Even though we have a paraffin heater for the greenhouse that came with it, you know, it's got a chance of having a little bit of that, you know, thermal kind of residual heat off the wall, which would be awesome. So I'm gonna go. You guys take it really, really easy. I love you guys heaps. Mwah. Bye. Wait, I forgot. Look, and my lavenders. A lot of those are going out the front. They're going to go out the front. We're going to make a little lavender hedge. My rosemary died, so Tanny bought me a new one. There just so happens to be 4 in that pot, and it is such a hungry thing and such a thirsty thing that it's gone dried out in less than 48 hours. So we're going to get that done today. I'm hoping that little seed tray will pop up. I really am. If it will, it's awesome. If it doesn't, those lavender I didn't get transplanted out in time, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. Anyway, have an awesome one, guys.